Hello everyone, how's it going? So I'm gonna do this video on the main channel because I think this is worth discussing. So Assassin's Creed Mirage was definitely a highlight of Ubisoft's presentation. Basically, they're going back to form when it comes to their game. A lot of people who played the OG Assassin's Creed games, like Assassin's Creed 1, the Ezio trilogy, and 3, this definitely plays more or less like those games with a lot more focus on mobility and exploring the world rather than just, checklist and, like the more modern Assassin's Creeds like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. And I actually really like this new concept of how they're going focused on mobility rather than these big outlandish combat situations, because that's what a lot of people feel like Assassin's Creed has devolved into. Instead of the stealth action that people fell in love with, it's more or less more about just going into like big huge battles and fighting, which are fun. I mean, I liked Assassin's Creed Valhalla for what it was, but a lot of people, including myself, would argue that the game was way too bloated and the combat just, it just didn't feel like Assassin's Creed. But there's one thing that I really was not a fan of, and it was this part all the way here. So as you can see here, Basim, who is, I think, a terrific character because, he's not good or evil. He has his own self-interest, but he also has a set of ideals that he follows. So here, that's the target that you have to assassinate. And here they kind of show some sort of mystical stuff. Look here. So Basim can target multiple enemies at the same time. And even though I think this was a cool concept, look what happens when he does it. So yeah. Look, it looks cool, but the problem is it just lends too heavily into that mystical, supernatural stuff that I feel like a lot of fans, including myself, kind of want them to go against. Yeah, they did try to bring together mythology and reality in a much more practical way, such as the staff that kept Alexios or Cassandra, depending on who you picked, alive for centuries, or in Assassin's Creed Origins, where you find out a lot of the ancient gods are actually just manifestations of like ancient technology gone awry. But I feel like this right here was the worst possible way they could have taken this. The reason I say that is because Batman Arkham Knight actually has a system that Ubisoft could have borrowed from. So this is Arkham Knight where they introduced the fear takedown. Now, if you don't know what that is, basically when you get your new armor, it allows Batman to move at extraordinary speeds and keep the armor plating that he's known and accustomed to. So you can see in the upper left corner of the screen, he has the fear meter, and this is what I'm talking about.
If I'm going to take them by surprise, I'll need another way in.
So we're just going to speed a little. Here it is. So that's what I think they should have done. Something like this would have been so much cooler than, what this is. Like, let's just look at it again just to put it into perspective. Look at this. And look at this.
The new suit is faster.
I think a lot of us can argue that the way the fear takedown looks in Arkham Knight is just so much better than what we got here with Assassin's Creed Mirage. So I think they should kind of like, this is still a work in progress. I wouldn't actually be opposed if they reworked this so it looks a lot more cooler, where Basim is basically going in and you see his animations play out, because they did do that in a way with, I believe it was Splinter Cell Blacklist or Conviction. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a Splinter Cell expert. I've only played a few of the games. I loved Chaos Theory, but I remember where you can lock onto enemies and automatically shoot them while you're running and gunning, which was a cool system. I think they should really implement that for this Assassin's Creed game, dial it back with this type of like teleportation ability, and put it where the main character literally moves through the environment, and then implement the animation so they work that way, where he moves at breakneck speeds, where he's showcasing his mastery of the assassin, the assassin tactics and ideologies, where they go for the quick kill, no suffering. The enemy has to be dealt with as quickly as possible. And Maybe that's the way they can really highlight Basim as a character, because let's face it, the guy is incredibly dangerous. He's very strong, very fast, and he's someone to be reckoned with. And I would think it would complement his style if they showcase and implement that. Either way, tell me what you think. Either way, I'm really excited for this one. Like, I love Assassin's Creed, and I really like the idea they're going back to the roots. So that's it. Just wanted to address that.